So a couple months ago, my wife and I decided that we wanted to become real estate agents. So we embarked on this journey of taking a class and doing a bunch of other stuff. And at the very beginning, we kind of had this idea in our heads of about how much it was going to cost, more or less. We figured we were going to have to pay for, obviously, the class, the pre-licensing class, and then we may have to pay for like an exam fee or maybe a fee to get our license. And what we found out was there are a lot more fees and costs involved in getting a real estate license. So that's what I wanted to make a video about today, how much it actually costs to become a real estate agent. So the costs for becoming a real estate agent are going to vary a little bit state by state, class by class. Some classes are more expensive, some classes are less expensive, some classes are free. My understanding, some are free. So the costs associated with Brittany and myself becoming real estate agents are going to be more specific to us in our area and just kind of the path that we went on. Your path may be a little bit different than ours is if you're thinking about getting your license. But I want to make this video anyway because I think a lot of people who are out there like Brittany and I were a couple months ago looking to get into real estate, maybe looking to get their license, don't necessarily think of everything that's involved in getting there in terms of like things you have to pay for. Oh, and by the way, guys, it's just going to be me today. Brittany's actually off studying for her real estate exam, speaking of real estate. So I got my license a couple weeks ago. Brittany's taking her exam to get licensed in a couple days. So wish her luck. And with that being said, let's get into all the costs associated with getting a real estate license. Okay, so number one is the pre-licensed salesperson's course that you'll have to take and pass just to be able to take the state exam to get licensed. So this class for Brittany and myself costs $429. Now, like I said before, some classes are going to be less than this. I think there's one class that I saw offered for free, but you had to affiliate with that brokerage that was offering it. So $429. This was an in-person class that lasted for about 6 weeks. And it was 3 days a week, 4 hours each day, so 12 hours a week for 6 weeks. It was like taking a 1 or 2 semester long college course, but just crammed into a 6-week time span. Lots of information to cover. So what we could have done instead is just paid for like a $200 online course where it's kind of up to you to do everything. You don't have an instructor you go see 2 or 3 times a week. You don't have any classmates or anything like that. Brittany and I both felt that it was going to be better if we just went to this in-person class, just because we learn much better if we can see somebody face to face and like interact with stuff. So that's what we did. $429 for that class. We also paid for supplies, so notebooks, paper, we got a hole puncher, pens, pencils, flashcards, that sort of thing. All that stuff for us at least was $31. Okay, so once we passed the pre-licensed salesperson's class, we purchased a kind of like a state exam prep course. I don't want to call it a course because it's not like a course that you would typically think of that you go through. It's just like a study guide basically, but a lot of tests involved in this, or a lot of quizzes. I think there are like 500 practice questions total, and the objective of that is to prepare you for the state exam. That was $49.95. Okay, so the next fee involved is the actual examination fee. Now, in Brittany's and my case, we paid for the exam before we actually took it. So we paid for it like a few weeks in advance, I think. So the exam cost is $119. And again, that may vary state by state, I'm not sure. So there is a little bit of math involved in the exam. It's not too difficult, but it's probably not something you'd want to try and figure out in your head, you know? Questions that would take too long also using pencil and paper for. So Brittany and I purchased calculators, these little calculators right here. These were $7.73. Now I actually had a scientific calculator as well that I used for another job. So TI-84 CE. This is a great calculator, but these aren't allowed on the real estate exam. So scientific calculators aren't allowed, so we paid for 2 non-scientific calculators, $7.73. The next fee involved has to do with actually getting your license. So we paid $119 just to take the exam. Now after we take the exam and pass it, we have to pay $170 just to get licensed. So that's kind of our license fee. And a background check is also required for that. That costs $16.50, or at least it did for us. And again, the license fee, that may vary state by state as well. In total, we have the pre-licensed salesperson's course, $429. The supplies for that course, $31. The exam preparation, or state exam preparation, $49.95. The state exam fee, which is $119. The calculators, $7.73. The license fee, $170. And then the background check we had to get done, $16.50. So for one of us, all of our pre-license costs totaled up to $823 $1.18. Okay, and on to the next section, the post-license section. So we paid for all of our pre-license stuff, we paid for our license, now we have our license. Now there are things we have to pay for after getting licensed. So there's actually, at least for us, there's a post-licensing class we have to take and pass, just like there's a pre-licensing class. That was $59, so we haven't actually taken that yet. So this class is a lot more about how to actually start your business and start growing in real estate, as opposed to kind of the legal aspects of contracts and agency law and state laws and things like that, which is what our pre-licensing class was more about. There's also a lockbox fee or activation fee that I had to set up. That was $53.31. There's also a board of realtors that Brittany and I had to join for our area. That was $352.17, and we're probably going to have to pay that on a yearly basis. And then joining the brokerage we joined, there is a $52 administrative fee. So that $52 fee is very specific to our office and our brokerage. Things like that are going to vary brokerage to brokerage and even office to office within different brokerages. Okay, so the total for post-licensing fees, just for one of us, was $516.48. But wait, there's more. We didn't include gasoline. We were driving up and down the road a lot during this, so there were gasoline costs that were incurred. So we drove a total of 437 miles to and from class, to and from the state test, to and from different places that we studied at. My car gets about 25 miles per gallon. At an average of $4.25 per gallon, that totals $74.29 just in gasoline. Okay, so if you add everything up, the $823.18 for the pre-licensing portion, the $516.48 for the post-licensing portion, and then the $74.29 for the gasoline costs, the grand total is $1,413.95. So that's a lot. I think at the beginning of this, Brittany and I were only thinking maybe total costs per person for each of us were going to be $600, $700, something like that. And it came out to almost twice that much. And here's the interesting thing: that's not all we're going to have to pay for. So there are also monthly costs involved in this. So there's a monthly lockbox fee that we have to pay just to have access to be able to open lockboxes and things like that. That's $15.81 per month. And then our office fee, and again, this is very specific just to our office and our brokers that we're with. This is $90 per month. Now this may seem like a lot, but we actually get access to a lot of different benefits and things like that. Like we have access to coaches, a legal team, different business subscriptions that our office actually pays for on our behalf. Well, I guess we're paying for some of that. But we get access to a lot of different types of support. It's kind of actually pretty cool. So monthly totals, $105.81. So hopefully this video helped to give you more of a fuller picture of how much it costs to become a real estate agent, or at least all the different costs that could be involved in it. There may be more costs. Like I said, this is just very specific to Brittany and I, the brokerage we joined, the class we took, things like that. Guys, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a huge thumbs up. It helps out the YouTube algorithm tremendously. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.